Salt Lake City, Utah, the type of place people dream about moving to settle down and raise a family. Such was true for a young couple who moved into the neighborhood near 9th East and 9th South in the fall of 2006. Henley and Jenna McDude were just that type of family, married only a year. They had their whole lives ahead of them. Henley, a recent graduate of Hamburger University, had taken a management position at the local McDonald's.
Jenna was so proud of Henley and his accomplishments. She was so happy to be married and finally settling down.
She was always so happy around him. They were so happy together. It was like she had waited for so long to find her prince. And when Henry McDude came along, I think something inside of her told her that he was the one.
Booyah, it did. She come home after she was out with him. That's all she could talk about. Shoot.
On the night of June 15, 2007, just 9 months after they moved into this apartment, the McDudes mysteriously disappeared. Investigators later discovered that they had not taken everything with them, leaving everything they owned.
Well, you know, when we arrived on the scene, the house looked pretty normal. There wasn't any really suspicious things lying around that I took note of. Seemed like they had just up and walked out, keeping everything the same as before. Kinda reminded me of my house.
Not real sure we went to the same house, Gil. I mean, you had to have seen all that garbage they had strewn around in the house. It looked like a pig pen. It seemed the apartment was littered top to bottom with pages of magazines and books. There were movie cassettes, DVDs, and the like all over. It looked like they had gone and bought every choose-your-own-adventure, Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, and Agatha Christie book ever written. One of the craziest things I ever saw, completely abandoned. They just walked out of the house and left, didn't take anything with them.
There was food in the fridge, lunch packed for Henley for work the next day, and no sign of where they were going or if they were ever coming back. Yet, leading up to the disappearance, neighbors and those who knew the McDudes sensed something had changed, but had no idea that they would soon vanish without a trace.
The McDudes that I knew, it wasn't like them to just leave like this, funny as that may sound, but there were some definite changes in their relationship together and our relationship with them that seemed to change in the weeks before they disappeared.
Yeah, we noticed that happening before they had vanished. McDudes always seemed to be up much later. Sometimes we'd walk by their window on our way home, see them arguing. A few times we'd see them feverishly typing on their computer, bathing at odd hours, sleeping. I mean, we definitely noticed that their daily schedule of doing things had changed severely.
We also noticed that they started talking about some creepy things, like UFO sightings, missing persons, the Sasquatch, and reading lots of weird novels and books about those things.
Shortly after their mysterious disappearance, the family went to the media for help.
We are desperate to find our loved ones. I am sure that someone must know something. I ask you to have the courage to come forward and help give solace to a father's anguished heart.
Did you notice anything strange about the McDudes prior to their disappearance?
I did notice them acting somewhat strange around the time they met with the bishop. This was a few weeks before they went missing. They seemed pretty distraught afterwards. We saw less and less of them at ward functions, and I noticed they avoided eye contact with me, the bishop, and many other members of the board.
Continued efforts by reporters to interview the bishop were met with resistance, and he would not allow Unsolved Mysteries to contact him. Yet, the theory that the church elites knew something about the disappearance was not the only relevant theory that came out of the McDudes' disappearance. Another neighbor, Jax T. Larson, provides a chilling and vivid account of what happened to the McDudes on that fateful June night.
I know what happened to the McDudes. Saw the whole thing, I did. It was about 12 o'clock at night, and I was sitting on my porch shooting at some leprechauns dressed up as animals. They was eating up my garden, they were. When I saw Mr. McDude come out of his house to pick his toes on the porch, wife don't like him to do it in the house. So he was sitting outside taking care of his business when I noticed a bright light that came down from the sky and set right over their house. Next thing I know, a bunch of green men come out of their big old spaceship and went into the house. I could tell this ain't no dinner party going down. So Mr. McDude come running in the house and I hear him yapping about something with them aliens. Didn't understand a word they was saying. Don't speak alien very well. Next thing I know, they hop in their spaceship like they is going to the Redwood Drive-In and the whole thing just taking off into outer space it did. Never saw 'em again. And now for sure we ain't getting back our Tupperware.
Without any real clues other than the strange actions of the McDudes triggered by what seemed to be acute anxiety and the account of Mr. Jex T. Larson, the disappearance of the McDudes remains an unsolved mystery. This computer time-lapse drawing shows what the McDudes look like now 3 weeks after their disappearance. If you, or anyone you know, has any information about the disappearance of the McDudes, please call or write to Unsolved Mysteries at 1-800-876-5353. About 30 seconds ago, we concluded our live broadcast of Unsolved Mysteries, featuring the disappearance of the McDude couple of Salt Lake City, Utah. In the interim, a caller identifying himself only as James Alexander III, friend and neighbor to the McDudes, gave this alarming account of what happened.
Thank you for calling Unsolved Mysteries. This is Mary. I see you are calling about the McDude family. This is not Mr. Jex Larson calling again, is it?
No, this isn't Jex Larson. My name is James Alexander III, and I am a friend and neighbor of the missing couple, and I have some information about their disappearance.
Go ahead.
Well, I think that the bishop of the church they were attending called them in to work on some sort of special project. They began to lose all touch with reality, and their associations with others began to diminish. They became immersed in obscure myths and legends. All they could talk about was this project that was due, this story.
And how did that make you feel, to know that they had a special assignment from the bishop, and you didn't?
No, that isn't the issue at all. I felt we're being shut out of their lives. But then it all turned into frustration. The special project was this script they were writing for some Ward Film Festival. They kept badgering me and other ideas about it, or mysteries and clues. Quite frankly, we got sick of hearing about it, hearing them complain about it. It was always poor us. We have to write the script. Yeah, well, there's people in Africa starving, and you're worried about writing a script? It was like, get a life, you people.
Serious? That is ridiculous. What a bunch of losers.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So what's your story? You single? Seeing anybody?
Constructed from the conversation and a subsequent relationship began between the caller and Mary the operator, Unsolved Mysteries experts were able to piece together the whereabouts of the McDude family. That was the last time that anyone ever saw the McDudes again. If you or anyone you know has any information about their whereabouts, please call or write to Unsolved Mysteries at 1-800-876-5353. Again, 1-800-876-5353.